yeah, so like I have a bunch of pictures of a place that I'm not allowed to show anybody. I have it's a bunch of weird shit like that. So fancy. I can't even tell you the name of the restaurant.
You texted me the name of the restaurant.
I know I did because I also knew the restaurant name fucking 3 years ago before
3
pandemic.
years?
Yeah. They've had the lease.
I felt bad booking you a month ahead of time for this.
Yeah, so
I can't believe.
But I left and had been working.
You knew the name for Au Bon Pan this whole time. You've been holding out
I'm
on
about to
us.
open up the fucking flagship Au Bon Pan.
The Au Bon Pansexual. It's only open in Brooklyn.
I'm trying to think of something that sounds like "Oh, behave" in Boston Powers. It's not
Au
coming to me.
Bon.
Au Bon, hey.
Au Bon, hey.
Au Bon Pan works.
Au Bon, hey.
Is that how we start the episode?
Listen, oh behave.
Oh.
It's House of Fang.
It's House of Fang. Are his levels
Turn
good,
down
or are we
level.
going to go with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, don't worry. That's going to be overdone by a theme song for whatever House of Fang's theme song
The
is.
theme song is her talking about who she is and what the restaurant is.
Oh, God.
I'm Kathy Fang. I'm the chef and owner of steamed and hottest Chinese restaurant in San Francisco, Fang. In this city, my father, Peter Fang, is the godfather of Chinese cuisine. That came from Wolfgang Puck. That's pretty nice. He owns the famous House of Nanking just down the street. While most kids grew up playing games, I spent my childhood studying cooking and learning the secrets of his success. Get ready for service. Today I'm a chef that takes a lot of risks with my own dishes. This is one of the new dishes that we're trying out. Just like my dad, I want to revolutionize Chinese food and take our family legacy to the next level. I'm a 2-time top champion and one of the country's most sought-after chefs. The only thing more fiery than the food is my staff. I can promise you one thing. There is never a dull moment at Fang. I'm a legend in the making.
Hi, I'm House of Fang. Welcome to Bottle Episodes.
By the bottle episodes.
Oh, we're here. We're on.
We're on.
Oh, Jesus
I've been
Christ,
recording.
okay.
I'm David Piccolomini.
I'm Daniel Crow. We have a guest today.
Hi, am I introducing myself?
Yes.
I'm Brian Boss.
We want people to associate their voice and
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Hi,
We've-
Brian Boss here.
We've brought
This is my voice.
Bryan on for Chef Dynasty House of Fang. It involves food.
It
but
does,
here's the thing. This is
sort
not the
of.
first time Bryan and I have done a food-based podcast.
No, that is absolutely not.
Because
There is-
Bryan and I recorded 8 episodes of podcasts that we never released any episodes.
Do
So
you understand? I still have that hard drive, so it still
you
exists.
you still have 8 episodes of
I
Finding
still
Flavor
have-
Town?
Yes, I have 8 episodes of Finding Flavor Town.
Bryan and I did 8 episodes of a podcast where we attempted to eat at every restaurant featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Mhm, and we re-reviewed and then just found out that dude is a monster. So,
Yeah.
and the more and more I read about
Guy Fieri?
Guy, like basically anybody at Food Network turns out is a pretty bad person.
But I liked doing the podcast because by the
What?
yeah.
What
When-
libel am I getting myself into?
No, there's
right
no
now?
libel here. When
I don't know. I've seen the Shane Torres bit. Guy Fieri seems fine. He did a bunch of gay weddings.
now, but also they have editors that directly check his eye lines when he's working with female chefs.
He does
He's
have
also
great
said
chemistry
some
with women sometimes.
incredibly disparaging things about gay people in general.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He was hanging out with Trump recently. I saw
Oh
that.
yeah, no, I absolutely believe that. And then what do you have? Like Jaya De Laurentiis apparently is somebody who's bad. Ida Gardner refused to make a wish kid 3 times.
The reverse John Cena.
Wait, sorry. I thought you said I had a gardener.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like,
but also,
why did this gardener? No, I'm not helping. No,
No,
just make a wish kid. I
the
don't want to
gardener
do
was
that.
on tour. They were out on tour doing their thing, and they just didn't have the time in order to grant a dying child's last wish.
I just want to say something about Finding Flavor Town since no one will ever hear the episodes though. Which is by like the last 3
We'll put
episodes.
them out on
that we-
Patreon.
By like the last 3 episodes we recorded, we had stopped caring about the restaurants, and you were just continually pressing the Guy Fieri soundboard you had made.
Yeah.
You had just made a bunch of clips of Guy Fieri going like, "Rub it," and you just the whole episode.
Oh,
would
you
press
love
the
cascading pores.
Just the whole episode,
just a
that's what it
fucking
was.
maniac. Well, I still have the note of the Guy Fieri ranking system up on my wall, 1 to 10. That includes stuff like I think what number 8 was Out of Bounds.
Yes.
Like this is so good, it's unconscionable. Like I can't even. And Gangster Hard R was number 7.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
That's what. These are all things he said.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
we just had to figure out. And the bomb was up higher.
10 is Flavor Town.
10 is Flavor Town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know 10 is Flavor Town. The Pinnacle is
Obviously.
Flavor Town. We all know that. So let's talk about House of Fang.
First, I think we should say why Bryan is here for this food.
Oh, yeah, that might be a
Bryan
thing.
is not only a very funny guy, but Bryan, give everyone your background.
Not only a very funny guy.
I
very
did
funny
comedy
guy.
until I was around 30 and then freaked out, and now I've been cooking for the last 5 years. I've held positions. I'm currently a chef tournant. I used to be a sous chef, a previous restaurant. I bounced around. I actually know food. And then the obsessive comedy energy actually made cooking a lot easier in general as far as like just being ready to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Why?
Reps are a huge thing. So being on that open mic circuit or even show circuit is like you travel on trains for 3 hours a night and you do 12 minutes of comedy. Well, now I travel for half an hour and I get to work between 8 and 12 hours, and then the last show I did in the city was called Williamsburg and Wyverns. It was an adapted. Daniel Crowe has been on this episode a few times.
I think I was.
Yeah.
I was a very frustrated dungeon master. On
Yes,
that.
yeah, okay, yes, absolutely. Now, R.I.P. Crick and Cave.
Yeah.
I was just by there yesterday. But yeah, we did like an adapted Dungeons and Dragons for New York City. But I ended up reading 600 pages on Dungeons and Dragons. And the realization hit where it was like, what happens if I read about something I actually care about instead of something I don't? And
Similarly, though, you watched all of Chef Dynasty.
I
House
watched
of
all of
Fang.
it, man.
You didn't need to watch. You only need to
bored
watch
right now.
two.
I know,
Okay.
no. But it was only 6. To be
Yeah.
fair, it was only 6.
Let's explain real quick what House of Fang is.
Okay.
So it's called Chef Dynasty House of Fang, and it's the show is a reality TV show about Chef Kathy Fang as she serves up a bunch of fusion Chinese dishes as her father disapproves a lot.
Yeah, basically. So her father runs House of Nanking, which is a San Francisco staple. They've been around for 35 years or so.
And she runs Fang.
And she runs Fang, so she's the offshoot. She went to business school and then came back and realized that she wanted to do food, and then they opened up Fang. In the explanation that you gave me, Daniel, was like, the show is like a Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, or Real Housewives
Yes,
on Food
kind of like
Network.
the reality TV show. I did a little bit more reading about it. That was like they wanted to give her a show, but food competition shows are so hot right now. And when you explained that to me, I thought it was going to be like, okay, well then timeline says 2016. No, that's this thing was shot and aired in the same year, 2023.
Yes.
I was like finding it like super dated as we were going on. Like it was. This is the first reality show I've watched an entire season of.
Congratulations.
Thanks
I'm so
Wow.
very
sorry.
much. Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Didn't even do Survivor when it was in the heyday, like that kind of stuff. Like
You
I
got to
just
check out
never-
Three's a Crowd.
Yeah,
It's a game show, but
I did a little Wikipedia reading while I was sitting there.
before we do get into the show, though, which I do find very annoying for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
I do want to say we wanted to do Down Home with the Neelys, which is another Food Network show. We couldn't find any episodes. It seems to be lost media. If you have it, please let us know, because it is a cooking show about a couple who were hiding the fact that they were going through a divorce the entire time.
I did a lot of reading on that one too.
And
a
we
lot of
found
research.
some clips, and they are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If
They
you
are
have
actively fighting.
if
Okay.
you have episodes of Down Home with the Neelys, please send them to us. We would
I
love to
didn't
do
even
an
watch
episode.
a clip. I should. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would appreciate even before this one goes bad or good. I would like to come back to do, because I think that just like wet my whistle is such a like it just got me hungry for it. I
Yeah.
think.
These I like all the food puns or food metaphors we're doing. Oh, you're hungry for Down Home with the Neelys?
Oh, I got 3 pages of notes and they're mostly puns. So
Oh no!
Perfect. But yeah, Chef Dynasty House of Fang is very recent. Might be the most recent show we've done.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not even sure if it's been canceled yet. It doesn't look like it's going to get picked up. But what I could find is that people on the Food Network Reddit, when I search for it,
Yeah.
are so mad that this exists.
they
Yeah.
hate it.
I've seen a lot of reviews of the restaurants in general that people say that they're fans. I mean, you want to go further and talk about how during the first writer strike within our lifetime,
The 07 writer.
07 was the rise of the reality show. And actually the majority of the staff, or quote unquote staff, the people who work on the show still
Yeah.
have it. cited on their Instagrams, and they're still talking about it, like all 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just going to be picked back up because it's cheap and it's fine.
Oh, you think it might get picked back
Because of the
and they have
strike.
nothing else
Oh.
to do. I think that's the way it's going.
Wow, because people on Food Network hate the show at a level.
Oh, because it's a terrible show.
Well, sure, but it is that weird thing where like there are plenty of terrible TV shows.
Oh, for sure.
But this one, like it's that weird thing where like they're trying to do like an E-style reality TV show.
And I have a feeling that it's going to be the first of many.
Oh, I hope
Is
not.
kind of my thought process now,
'Cause they
especially
have-
with the success of The Bear and the menu within the last little bit.
Oh, you think it'll just?
But
move
those are
to-
pretty serious dramas.
Sure,
as opposed
but-
to this manufactured drama stuff.
Yes, but also those serious
It's the
dramas
runoff.
are giving people who don't have an idea of what happens in the kitchen now more of an idea, and I think it's become in vogue. So I would not be surprised if 2024 brings House of Fang maybe 8 episodes.
Oh no. Can I say this though before I get real mean about the show?
Yeah,
The food looks good.
you like the food.
It looks good to me.
I have qualms with the food.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I figure you're
It
more
doesn't-
knowledgeable than
yeah.
I.
It doesn't look incredible.
No,
but,
it looks good.
But like as far as Chinese fusion,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I agree with like pushing that envelope, but I noticed very quickly the amount of fried food that she has.
yeah.
With her tasting plates that are sitting down and they're 3 back-to-back-to-back fried food. Everything in a wok is technically fried. It's high temperature and a good amount of oil. I mean, like she even did, because I've even watched the episodes in between. She did this Napa Valley event that was supposed to be like super soigné. Soigné is French for like really good. And she, like everything was fried. But even like without batter sometimes, she fried an entire like seafood dish to put it in front. Like,
It's one of those things where it's like,
The-
oh yeah,
yeah.
if you just put everything in hot oil,
Exactly.
it will taste good.
yeah. Oh, for
but
sure.
you're not a good
Oh,
chef.
for sure. I think she is. I think she's kind of stuck in that, and I think that specific kind of cooking, which we can even talk about and delve into a little deeper.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay,
You've got the expertise that we're looking for.
so this. Okay, I was thinking about it and like kind of going over some stuff. So House of Nanking, which is her father's restaurant, is named after her maternal grandfather, who is from Nanking. So based on the timeline that Peter Fang is 70, that would mean her grandfather survived the rape in Nanking.
Well,
yeah.
oh no.
And pushed everything else out. So you have that. And then you have around 1959 to 1960, which is the Chinese famine. So that's what they went through before moving to the country in the 80s. Notable.
And then he has this beautiful restaurant.
Yeah.
And then
It's why I think the mother is never featured. Because when you see her in that last episode, she's just such a browbeaten, like she just...
yeah, I did notice it is weird because the mother is featured. Like they say one line in the first episode.
Yeah.
Where it's like, Dad, you know, Mom can also work in the kitchen too.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
She's been working there just as long as you. And then she's just not talked about it. She's like quietly in the background.
I really think she elected to not be on it, which I absolutely makes sense. Her life has been tragedy. That's how she got here. I think she's been through a lot, and I totally understood that. States that were affected by the Chinese famine are Sichuan, and Hunan. So stuff that you
Two
see.
of my favorite chickens.
The reason that they're here.
One
You
of
know
my,
what I mean?
one of
It's
my
like-
favorite jokes from Rick and Morty.
I don't even know.
Szechuan
yes,
sauce.
okay, yeah, the Sichuan sauce. So there is in that is just that entire family is a huge victim of diaspora, and they were able to achieve quote unquote the American dream, which I think is lovely.
Getting their kid a
Maybe they should've
reality TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dream. The
Yeah,
American
exactly.
dream.
I mean, up to that end, sure, absolutely.
this is just more of the American dream. It
Yeah.
just keeps happening.
Exactly.
You get your kid a restaurant. Not only do they have a restaurant, they also have a reality TV show based on that restaurant.
Not only do they have a restaurant, but they're also married to a chief security officer at Robin Hood. So
You looked up what his job was.
I had to look it all up.
We
because
figured it was finance.
I was trying
yeah,
to.
he's so boring.
I was trying to figure out why she was wearing Hermes or why she was driving a Bentley, because chefs do not fucking make money unless you have
Well, it seems
the
like
global brand.
it
Like,
seems like the
yeah.
restaurant's an institution.
Oh, for sure. But the restaurant being an institution, sure. built in 88 would mean I'm sure he lives in the same exact apartment that he.
But he also
purchased
probably owns
originally.
his own restaurant at this point.
That's
Yeah,
the thing. So which is good, but having said that, there is no. Like restaurants just don't make money. They can to a certain point, but they're not making millions of dollars.
Here's
no,
the
it's
very
not
specific
petty.
thing,
Yeah.
though. If he gets that restaurant in '88 and
Yeah.
buys the building
Yeah.
in San Francisco,
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
But
So it's like how
yeah.
all comedy clubs are secretly just restaurants. All restaurants are secretly just owning the property.
Yeah, exactly. I think. I mean, that's the reason that Peter's always in a hoodie and stuff because he just doesn't spend money. I would like to talk about Peter just in general because
Oh yeah.
I love.
Peter, the father.
Yeah, Peter the father. I love this idea that like everything is too modern for him.
yeah.
Like
Except a reality
except
show.
for reality, sure, but like everything just like no, absolutely not. Like if magic existed, all right, if magic existed, and you could use magic to fucking like make somebody the happiest they've ever been. Peter would not be okay with that because that was invented after the magic that was just used to flay people. Like, no. Like, back in my day, absolutely not.
I mean, let's talk about the cast of this whole.
Oh, yes, I
The
do.
cast is
Yeah.
infuriating
Oh,
because they're clearly not people that work at the restaurant.
Oh, for sure.
And sometimes you'll see shots in the background of the actual staff of the restaurant.
Well, they never interview a cook there. They
No.
never. They're on screen in the third episode, I think, like helping them make these special dumplings.
And I think they're in the 6th episode as well.
Yeah.
But they've clearly just hired models and actors to pretend to be the servers and the bartender.
Exactly.
And it's what?
The one server they interview in the first episode,
the model actor, the Mactor.
No, the Mactor also in his Instagram page also cites himself as an athlete now. So that's a thing. But the Miss Universe contestant,
Mathlete.
Yeah.
who she was like,
Yeah.
I've just been working here for the last 2 weeks. It was like, oh yeah, so absolutely just for production. Cool. Yeah.
The maitre d' is her personal trainer,
Oh God, yeah.
pretending that he's a maitre
Well,
d'.
he's apparently been there forever.
Really?
Yeah, I think he opened it with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So
He's
long.
so bad at it.
I've written down names. Long is
Long.
Long was in it for the long haul, quote unquote.
Yeah, every time she mentions long, she does follow it up with a sentence that uses the word long.
Oh, absolutely.
Long's
No,
been with us a long time.
So you want to talk about that opening in that first episode?
Yeah, let's
where
do
they're
it.
like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the fiery staff, and then it cuts to that Mactor dude, and he's like, women are hot. Like it really is.
They
just
show
this-
us his photo
It's
shoot.
just so gross.
Him
man.
on a bed, shirtless, eating wings.
Oh God,
Oh
yeah.
my God. 2 pictures of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the note here written just about like I've been working for 2 weeks. I also love they do the interstitial, they do the kind of the cold open, and they go into the theme song, and then it kind of pumps it up. What are the theme songs? Is I'm a legend in the making is like the thing. It's like such girl posy music, which fine, good. But
no, the whole show is that weird. It is Bravo. It's
Yeah.
just doing Bravo
Yeah.
TV.
oh, for sure. Well, I mean, I guess I'm just new into this, where I'm like, I have no.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying.
I have nothing. Yeah.
They all just kind of look like
Okay.
this show.
And then cuts from that song, and then it's like this heartbeat, and then it's like kind of cuts to Kathy in the kitchen. It's like, we have a dumpling, and then it cuts away. Like that's it. That's the start of the show. It was like, okay, you're trying to change things, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of dumplings and a lot of noodles, which are fine. Like I love good food.
I
you know.
like she takes a pork bun to some guys at a table and explains what it is. They live in San Francisco.
Oh, for sure.
They know what it is.
Oh, for sure. And then the TikTok rice. You want to talk about the TikTok rice for a second?
Oh, God. Ugh.
That shit comes out. I know it's a deli container. I know that they press that rice into a plastic deli container and flip it out upside down on that. Like it just is ugly
And then they do a TikTok dance.
weird, and then they do the TikTok dance. And it's a lot
They do the
like,
Macarena.
You don't
oh
get
yes,
it.
they did that
do the
Macarena. It was
Macarena.
so uncomfortable.
Nobody's
Oh,
done
God.
the Macarena in 15 years.
Yeah.
Like these people got hired to pretend to be servers to do the Macarena
Oh,
on the
for sure.
Food Network.
And then what's her name? Kathy.
It's weirdly
joins in, and
2003.
she's
Yeah.
like, I've never pimped myself out before. Meanwhile, you're on a reality show, and then she's like, well, they'll all do the TikTok dance, the Macarena. But
And then it cuts to her at home where she's getting ready in the morning.
in a
And she's-
gorgeous fucking a
huge
gorgeous
apartment
house
in San
Yeah.
Francisco, the
yeah.
most expensive city in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then she says, every morning is so hectic. We have to get the kids ready.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, We have the nanny and my assistant.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of feeds back into and then her friend who worked in the Mina group, which I had to do a little digging on, but it's like, it's fine. They own 30 restaurants. My man, Michael Mina, that's a dude who's actually making real money doing
They own 30 restaurants?
Because you need to own 30. You know what I mean?
Is he your man? Is he your man?
He's my man.
Okay.
This is the Irish in me still. They call people your man.
Okay.
But it's just like, not even your boy. It's just like that
man.
person.
Yeah.
Your man over there, the person
We're just
talking about.
bullying you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, wait,
But Lillian. Yeah, Lillian was...
Okay, Lillian. Yes, thank you.
Lillian,
Yeah, work for the Mena.
She was like a serious restaurateur person.
Yeah.
That they brought on to be the drama of it by just being like, no, a restaurant has to work well.
Oh, for sure. But also, Michael Mena only held his stars until 2018. So,
Ooh, shots fired.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm really just saying like
Cry into your pile of money, you piece of
just
shit.
this idea that I'm doubtful she was there working for them when they actually were holding it to that level.
You know, at a certain point.
Okay, but she's holding it to a regular level of good restaurateur.
Oh, absolutely. Agreed. Agreed.
This restaurant is not doing at all.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the episode, don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Podcast Addict, whatever you're using. If you're like one of the people still on SoundCloud. Anyway, review, it really helps. Check out more of us on the internet if you want. You can find me on Instagram at DPIC Comedy or on TikTok at LitGrandma69. And it might be 420. I don't know. I like saying it's both. The other one doesn't exist yet. So find me on one of those. And then also you can find Daniel Crow at Daniel F. Crow at Instagram. And then Saucy Bryan Bossy if you want to figure out where eventually he works because he's keeping it secret on here. And then if you want to check out, I have a special out on YouTube called Goblin King. Definitely check that out. And a new show coming out this month, August 22nd. I'm putting it up on, it's called Christian Science Theater 3000. And if you're in New York City, it's going to be at Star Bar on August 22nd at 8 p.m., $10. It is going to be a show where we roast a movie mostly from the production company PureFlix. So we're starting with God's Not Dead. So we're going to roast Christian movies at Star Bar. So if you want to check that out, it's kind of like this, but slightly different. All right. Back to the show.
You know what's weird? None of the people in this show seem to be having fun.
Well, because you don't see them. Like, you just don't see the real people who are actually doing this shit.
Yeah, the people complaining in the back about how they're having to make, what was it, like cheesesteak?
Oh, I don't even. Okay.
No, it was Chinese donuts with salmon on it.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
lox and bagels.
I want to get your opinion on that dish that they prepare.
I was piping salmon mousse 5 years ago. That's not an envelope pusher. The amount of times that she said.
Shots fired.
Because we weren't doing it on Chinese donuts, but, it's the same. Like, it literally is the same.
You're doing lox and bagel
When I got to the
fries?
city 10 years ago, one of the chefs at the restaurant I was working at put together a pastrami pork belly on a knish. So, like, have that idea is like, this has already been fully in existence for, you're not really pushing the envelope. She's kind of arrested by how Peter is.
Her dad is furious at it.
Furious. Having said, like, everything that you see in the 6 episodes of, like, well, this is the new dish, this is a new dish, this is a new dish. I looked at their menu. No.
Never.
None of them.
No, of
none
course.
of them are on there. And maybe, I think the idea of, like...
Peter's anti-Semitic.
Yes. Peter hates shoes. No, Peter... I like the idea of you being able to go in and just have them order for you and put out custom dishes. I think that's really, really fucking cool.
That's it's such a like weird move though, because this did get watched.
Yeah.
And people who watch this are going to go to the place.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. You want to go to the place you saw on TV. Mm-hmm. But they're going to want to order the thing they saw on TV, and they're going to be like, "Can I have the chef special by Peter?"
Yeah.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not gonna.
I think they do a bit of the TikTok rice. Also, I've read reviews. So,
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
How are the reviews?
All of the complaints that you think are there still. They're just
Why
like,
are all my waiters so hot?
exactly.
That's one of the
my
complaints?
waiters are no. None of the waiters were on the show were there. Peter apparently is a dick, and they never have anybody watching the door. So like people have reservations. It seems to be a constant complaint that are just
nobody's
like
ever
never
watching.
honored.
They do
They're
bring
just
that up
never
in the
honored.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that was such a real issue, like because it seems like a nonsense issue they make up for reality TV. So there's a part where Long, who is the general manager, is
Maitre
that-
D.
Maitre D / manager. Yeah,
he's doing a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
He's like not watching the door, and Lillian, who's like been in restaurants, was like, you gotta watch the door, you gotta let people, and he's like, I'm also doing a lot of other jobs, so you gotta let me not do this one too.
Yeah.
And it's weird though, then that's like an actual problem they've been having at the restaurant.
Oh, for sure.
Not a weird thing you make that up. That's like what a producer goes, I don't know, maybe he's not watching the door hard enough. I guess that's where we want him to fight.
Here's how you handle it. You hire somebody to be at the door. Like, the constant complaint is like, there's no host. There's just no host. It's like, they're understaffed. I don't think
know
they do
oh
things
my
well.
God. Can we do $15 an hour for our host?
Oh,
Nobody
God.
wants to work anymore. I guess we'll have to hire models.
I lived in the Bay 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was the most I paid for an apartment until about 3 years ago here. I had friends who were living in garages that were drywalled in half, so you could do two. And that was just in Haywood. That wasn't even in the city
dude.
proper. Like, and then you're talking about 7-8 people to, it's super expensive there. It's just, so yeah. What the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know where
You salary everybody, and you make sure that everyone gets paid all right, and you kind of move along. I don't know. You saddle your people with the prices because.
There's a plight happening in the middle of this speech.
Oh God.
Well, but what confuses me about the plot of the first episode,
Yeah.
which is about they need to put on a big meal for influencers.
Yep.
That's make or
They
break
call
for their.
them the glitterati.
Yeah. She says it's make or break for their restaurant that's
Yeah.
already been around for like a decade.
Well, no, Nanking's been around. I don't know how long Fang is.
I think
No,
it's
like
it's been around for like
7
9
years.
years or something.
9
yeah.
years, 10 years. Okay. Well,
So
then,
it's been doing fine.
yeah.
But she says it's make or break because how else will anyone find out about their restaurant?
Well, it's reality TV, so
Yes.
everything's make
Yeah.
or break.
She has a TV show.
Yeah.
People will find out from the TV show. And then they show the Instagram pages of the influencers. One of them has like 50,000 followers.
Yeah.
One of them has like 75,000 followers, and a bunch of them they don't even show the page for.
Yeah.
There's no way this was really
I mean, no. I mean, yeah.
I mean, first of all, I can't believe they would lie in a reality TV
I
show.
know.
See, it's my first introduction to it, and I'm like, oh, it's manufactured, and it makes me feel weird. And I'm like,
No, it's
no,
weird.
yeah,
Because it's like, oh, yeah, you guys aren't coming here for this event. You're coming here because they said, hey, do you influencers with not enough followers want to be on TV?
I think, yeah, like, and then everything's manufactured, like, all of the, let's step to the side and let's have this conversation. There's a few of them as you go through the season that are like, okay, that one's real. They have a lot of sit downs, but this organized sit down stuff, or like in the middle of the dining room when Long and Lillian are having it out, and they're incredibly well lit.
Yeah.
There's only one table behind them, and you can tell that it's just actors who are just like nom 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 nom. I'm like, okay, I just don't.
And that's,
Is
I
this
think,
what
Do you
people
think?
like?
Do you think it was
People
real?
like this?
Do you think it was real when Long slammed the swinging door?
Yes.
Could
No,
it make that sound?
I don't think so.
Could it even make that sound?
Because they didn't cut to a reaction of the full table.
No.
They did it individually. So people whipping their head around to see is just somebody walking up with a dish being like, this is the next one.
Can those swinging kitchen doors even slam?
Yeah, you're right. No, if they swing like that.
Yeah.
No.
it's the power of the door hitting
kinda?
the other
Yeah.
door, kinda.
Kinda. But I mean, that also leads to the 6th episode cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Will Long be back? Well, guess what? His shit still says on Instagram
That he works there?
that he not just works there, but he's part of the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, because they set up at the end of the last episode he's going to work with Peter.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go over to work with Peter. That's right. Okay.
Sorry,
bum,
we didn't
bum.
get to episode 6 yet. But
Yeah. No, you didn't get to.
No,
No, for
we watched it, but
Okay,
we just
good.
haven't got to it on the show.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
We're
we haven't.
spoiling episode 6.
Wait, so episode 1, what else happens in it?
Honestly, she spends a lot of time just going, we need to nail this meal.
Yeah.
They repeat that scene about 4 or 5 times.
and a lot of she keeps saying, push the envelope. Push it.
Yeah.
We're gonna push the envelope. We need to, and then she needs to explain it to Peter that.
And he likes old style foods, but she likes new.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that would have actually just been an interesting show if it was just a cooking show where he teaches traditional dishes and she does more modern fusion.
I would watch Peter in a cooking show where he just goes to places and eats well outside of his comfort zone and hates it and puts his finger up and then walks away
and shows them how it could be better.
Like
it could be more Chinese. He just shows them how it could be a better Chinese dish.
I think he needs to go to a Greek restaurant.
Yeah.
And be like, well, if you do this.
Honestly, I love the idea of him just going to like fast food Chinese style places and being like, oh, this is we're fixing this.
There's a fun thing about Peter in the first episode where he is both a victim of and perpetuates mild racism.
Okay.
Which is, you can understand him perfectly fine, and they just give him subtitles sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He's got minimal accent, and they'll just throw up subtitles when you know exactly what he's saying. And then at some point in the episode, he's confronted with a croquette.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I refuse to say that. I can't pronounce that word. Which if that was like a French guy being like, I'm not even going to try to say that Chinese word.
Yeah.
You'd be like, ooh, yikes.
Yeah, but he's like, croquette. No, too many syllables that just disappear.
Meanwhile, it's just technically a dumpling.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't. There's not a lot of.
He just refuses to say the word.
In your chef
like
opinion.
it's something. It's something. Yeah.
like it's Voldemort.
I know that they dial him up like that because I assume, or maybe the chicken with yogurt thing. You know, when he gets upset. Well, I don't know if that happened in between 2 and 4, but
He can't be that grumpy. He agreed to do the show.
yes, but I mean, I think he's such a personality.
I think it's a business decision also.
Oh,
at that
for sure.
point. You're just
Oh,
like,
guaranteed.
oh, hey, everybody's going to talk about my restaurant because it'll be on television.
Yeah,
And we're the only people that have talked about it so far.
yeah, and they never go to House of Nanking. They go outside several times, but they're never inside it.
They were so close. Season
Yeah.
2, they were going to get to inside Nanking.
Maybe
Here's
with
the thing.
Long?
Mark my words, they're going to have a season 2. They absolutely are.
I'm going to feel bad because we're supposed to not do shows that aren't done in case they improve. I guess we'll have to come back and check in on season 2.
I don't know if it'll improve based on storyline, but you could tell between 1 and 6 that all the characters started learning how to act better.
I heard season 2 they're going to introduce Chumley. He's gonna be,
But her, I don't know, her stilted speech pattern,
Oh, yeah, it's very chat
it's-
GPT.
super constant through the entire show. Like when she's speaking to anybody, it sounds very, very specific. So my dad was named Godfather of Chinese cooking by Wolfgang Puck. Cut to Peter. That's pretty good. And then
So wait, I have a question about this. Was this the episode where Lillian, she gives her the dishes. She's like, these are the dishes I want to prepare.
yes.
And she tries them and she's like, these are bad.
the mustard thing.
sauce.
Yeah.
That looked awful.
What I'm reading more and more is that it actually features on 3 or 4 of the dishes within the reviews, within my hour and a half in Yelp and Google.
Did any of the dishes appeal to you on any episode?
I mean, absolutely, all of them. I get hungry watching it. I think
Okay.
it's lovely. Like, I would love to eat their stalwart dishes. I think are great.
With the yams?
With the yams, I think the sesame chicken with yams, it looks good. It's super. Whether they want to admit it or not, it's California cuisine. It's what you have around you. It's what Alice Water,
I can't believe they would have Asian fusion
created,
at other
yeah.
places in the country closest to
it's
Asia.
all
Yeah,
in the
Asian.
state
Number
closest to
one,
Asia.
yeah.
There
number
is a
two,
weird thing where she
yeah.
acted like her dad brought Chinese food to San Francisco
Yeah.
in 1989.
1989, yeah. 1988. No, there was no Chinese food. Never mind the fact that
There certainly wasn't the most famous Chinatown in America.
Oh God, yeah. The longest operating restaurant in the country is a Chinese restaurant in America, in Montana. Yeah. So it's like, it's already been a fucking thing forever. So,
Yeah.
yes, what he did was came in and he
Added yams.
He presented, added sugar and yams and went for a very specific,
More elevated.
not even elevated, just
just-
what you have around. I mean, it's the reason that Taco Bell exists. It's what you have around. We could get into that, but we don't need to.
I don't know
We're allowed to get into that.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So
We don't shut off the episode after
So
a
this
certain point.
dude in California wants to run a restaurant exactly like McDonald's. He's about a couple miles away from the original McDonald's. So he sees it as an example. Every day he used to go and eat at a Mexican restaurant where the lady who is from Mexico brings in ingredients that are around her. So it's literally ground beef, cheddar cheese, and lettuce. So he eats that a bunch. He opens the first one, and they explode like that. It's some of it is like trying to appeal to American palate, which is how Chinese food in America works, and then the other side is having what you have around you. Like you don't have a choice because it would be too expensive to bring anything in from anywhere else. You know, I mean, it's a little less expensive, and Asian style cooking is very, very big within the American cooking aristocracy in, here, which would be like John George has a huge amount of Chinese cookery. Like that's his thing. The idea of like the fusion within Japanese cooking and bringing it in is a fucking thing. Like people are doing everything. I
feel like we asked one question.
Yeah.
and
I'm
felt
interested. It's turned into a food podcast now.
I have a lot more mean shit to say. We can do that. So having said that, it's how Chinese food works in America, man.
Yeah.
Like you're not eating sea cucumbers here. You're not eating braised deer tendon here. You know what I mean? That is
we do some
elevated
braised
cooking
deer tendon?
in China. Well, we can go to Las Vegas actually, because Vegas apparently has like very specific Chinese restaurants, especially within casinos that cater to them, because China has the only middle class in the world right now. So like, there's people who are able to travel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're
You
taking
keep
on
throwing
everybody.
bombs.
Is this what happens when you quit comedy?
Yeah,
You're just
exactly.
like, I can have all these opinions. What are they going to do? Cancel me from my restaurant job?
Oh, yeah, maybe. That's why we're not going to say where I work. I work at McDonald's.
He works alongside Mario Batali.
At McDonald's.
I'm in orange clogs with Mario Batali. He's trying to rebuild his rape room.
Woo! Some of us still.
I just keep reading stuff, and it just keeps
Yeah.
being sad. Do you want to get
Yeah,
to episode
it's
2?
hard.
Should we get
Episode
to episode 2
episode
instead?
6.
Okay.
Mario has a
sorry.
hard time battalion those accusations.
Actually, you watched every episode. Do you want to say anything between episode 1 and 6 that stuck
No,
out to you?
because it's kind of the same. There's a few things, but everything is just this dynamic. Like
We have to come up
We
with-
need to get it done. Yeah, exactly.
We have to come up with a new dish
Yeah.
today because I'm an innovator and
Yeah.
that's my brand.
And she's trying. And I think there was that Napa Valley thing where some of the dishes she's putting down, or at least demoing and trying, and before she gives them to Peter, they look gorgeous. I mean, there's an idea there, so you can tell that there's something there. But Peter is such a staunch no. So she changes
Only old school noodles.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but do some of the staples, elevate them. Sure. She had a pasta that I didn't think was a good bite. Uni and caviar and mussels. They
Ooh,
looked okay.
all
So,
right.
and then they kind of adapted and moved that forward. But if you're
Anyway,
yeah.
we this is a bad TV podcast. Let's not get too.
Yeah, you're right.
We're really deep into the food lore of some of the stuff, and that looks great. But really, this is just Bravo presents the Food Network, and people are pissed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
it makes sense though. You don't learn anything. You don't meet any of the cooks.
No,
No.
You see
know?
them in the background of episode 6, and
Yeah.
it's sad. They've got them all in masks, so you can't really see their faces.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do have episode 6 plot. Who cares? Because it has the weirdest detour in the middle with a big cameo.
Oh yes! Oh my God! I can't believe it took
It's-
me 6 seconds. That's the first time I've ever seen that person in an interview. Let
Same.
alone, yeah.
Well,
And I had to see him in the middle of a gift shop. You know what I mean?
so it's so weird because
Okay.
Kathy Fang starts casually talking about it too.
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, well, my father, he has a lot of celebrity clients," and then just casually.
Also drops that that Francis Ford Coppola owns the building next to them
Across the street,
Across
yeah.
the street. And it's in every day.
it might be. I've
Yeah.
been to Coppola's Italian restaurant in San Francisco. It might be
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Because I think it's in China. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I've been to the Coppola winery as well, and that was very good.
Yeah.
Yes,
But-
so
I mean,
it's Francis.
Yeah, it's Francis Ford
It's Francis
Coppola.
Ford Coppola. We
director
absolutely
of
should say it.
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
The Godfather.
And The Godfather. Come
and
on.
most importantly, Jack with Robin Williams.
Oh yes, he
Yeah, he
definitely
did Jack.
He definitely directed Jack. Oh my God.
Producer of Sofia Coppola.
Jack featuring Bill Cosby. So that's
Is Bill Cosby in Jack?
Yeah, he's in Jack.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, just hanging out with
Jack.
Robin Williams.
You bring up Mario Batali, and then these guys just keep coming.
Hey, I mean, let's white men are terrible.
Bill Cosby is
Cosby.
white now.
Very famous white man.
Did I just get canceled?
No, Bill Cosby did. It's fine. But yeah, there's just like a weird thing in the middle where she's like, Francis Ford Coppola is a regular at a restaurant. He loves my dad. He's been trying to get my dad to come out to the winery for 2 decades now.
Yeah.
And he's never accepted. So I accepted an invitation on his behalf. And so they go to Coppola's winery, not the Coppola winery, which he sold a few years ago. This is some new winery.
Yeah.
So we go out. I'm like, oh, this will be weird because David, you and I watched this together, and there was just a discussion about Coppola. I'm like, okay, this is weird because clearly Francis Ford Coppola is not going to be in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, House of Fang.
No, he was in it.
Fully in.
He's in
He's
it.
fully in.
So he greets them at the winery. He's like, hello, it's me, Francis Ford Coppola.
You can
Are
tell
you ready to cook for me?
so quickly that he has such love for Peter and such contempt for Kathy. He does not like her.
But they make it seem like he's invited them out there just to hang out. And immediately he's like, you guys are cooking for me right now.
I love his house.
His castle?
No, because it's not a castle. Because they go to his
the
little
bungalow,
cabin,
the bungalow.
little bungalow, and it just looks like just some dude. Like some dude lives there. He has
Some dude does live there.
but he has like a multi-$1,000 kitchen with like the amount of shit that he just has in there.
It's weird when he says, why don't we go to my bungalow? And then he kind of cockily goes, I've got to walk.
Hey, you guys are going to cook for me. I need to watch. Like, that is also, he just has a casual walk in there.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's real cocky about it. Real cocky
He's
about
real
it.
cocky about his walkie.
can you cock the walk?
Can you cock the walk? You know, I know you're the walk of the cock, but can you cock the walk? Fucking, that's, I mean, I'm actually happy for Kathy in that regard because Peter should have been just there all the fucking time hanging out with this dude. Like, I don't understand.
It takes them a while to say who Francis Ford Coppola is, by the way. Because if you're not a big film fan, you might not know.
Yeah.
If you're watching, you may be like, okay.
It's this old Italian guy.
And who's forcing them to cook. There's just a rich guy that brought them out there to cook for no money. And then, like, as they're serving him, she's like, he made The Godfather. Just, like, after 30 minutes of it.
I think him also...
Yeah, just friend of my father, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
Unabashedly eating. Like, does not give a shit about the cameras around. This is not him. Like, so he just is... It's a day-to-day. I would hope that they stay the next day through and Peter and Francis got to hang out.
What's weird is he's been filming, like, his big... end-of-life magnum opus right now.
Okay.
Where he sold his winery for like $100 million to self-finance a film.
Okay.
Which means this was filmed very recently, which means he took a break from that
Yeah.
to go out there to film an episode of House of Fang.
A guy who's made a movie so intense, the documentary about it is better than the movie.
Yeah.
Well, are you saying the documentary about Apocalypse Now is better than Apocalypse Now?
Some people say that.
I disagree. Both are very good.
Anyway, that's not the point I was making.
I like the book.
That's fair.
Fuck you. Get out. You want a Heart of Darkness? I got a Heart of Darkness for you. No books allowed. We're doing a bad TV podcast.
Okay, you're right. This okay, and let's go and reset. This show is bad. All 6 episodes are bad.
Well, so that's the other thing, but that's what I mean. It's like that guy's known for having such an intense process and like everything around it. So, and he's like, hold on, gotta go shoot my Food Network show.
Gotta put this thing that I'm paying for myself on pause for a couple days. It'll cost a lot of money, limited money, because I'm spending all of my money on making this thing. Pause it. I'll be back as I film this reality show.
Oh, I can't believe it. Like, I mean, yeah, I can't believe also that's literally, I'm telling you, it's the first time I've ever seen him in an interview.
There's
I
a
don't know how I
chance-
missed all of it throughout my life.
Because
but,
he's
like,
not really like a guy that's eager for the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Except
Just-
for if he can get some free Fang food.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, that's wild. I know that he's absolutely 100% doing it as a favor to Peter. And
Probably,
that's
yeah.
exactly how it read the entire way.
They do seem like two grumps that get along.
Yeah. I agree. They
He's
hugged.
probably been there plenty of times.
They hugged awkwardly, and then they hugged like for real at the end of the episode,
Yeah.
which was I thought was nice. Yeah.
Because the first one was like, can you hug again? And they're
Yeah.
like, are you serious?
Yeah, exactly. I can't even.
Camera didn't get it the first time.
What is production like on that? That's just like a lot of manufacturing. It's still like almost like a regular production.
I'm just now realizing there was a reality show director that had to direct Francis Ford Coppola. Like, can you imagine how terrifying that was
Francis,
for that
that was
guy?
great. Could you make it a little more natural?
And Coppola's just standing there. So we're like, fine, yeah, I guess so. He's thinking about the times he's tortured actors to get the best
Oh
result.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like, I guess I'm taking it from this guy
Yeah.
now.
I do like
Francis,
the
can you eat the
idea-
noodles more towards the camera?
Oh, he didn't even. There was no time for
Yeah,
him. Like there was
he
no
scarfed
position
it
where there was
down.
No,
like,
that
no.
producer
Yeah.
is not giving notes.
And
at that point.
what did he say? He's like,
He
oh,
said,
or at least me eating food looks real or something along those lines.
yeah,
It's like,
he
yeah.
clearly had it with the production. Yeah, everything looks a bit forced, Francis. I'm going to eat the food. And that won't look forced. There's also a moment where he talked to Kathy,
Mhm.
and she had apparently met him when she was a little kid and
Yeah.
asked him why he's so fat.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's because I eat your dad's food.
I mean, yeah, because everything's fried. Let's go
Yeah.
back to my original point.
I do like there's like a possibility because this like finished in 2023.
Yeah.
So this could be the last appearance if Francis Ford Coppola dropped dead.
No, he'll be promoting his film pretty soon.
If he dropped dead,
Okay, if he dropped it today. But this
What-
also is not
what
on
do you
his
think
IMDb.
his film is about? Do you think it's about Fang?
I don't know.
yeah, I think it's about. I think it's about.
It's been kept under wraps. It could be. I think
That's
Adam
okay.
Driver is the lead, so that's a bit iffy if they've got Adam Driver playing
But I mean, you
Peter
could have him
Fang.
paid Fang
Hey,
at
we
this
had
point.
Jennifer Lawrence do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
mean-
what are you talking about?
Jennifer Lawrence played Peter Fang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you're confusing her with Emma Stone in Aloha.
I'm
I
also
am-
thinking
I
of
am confusing with Emma
who am
Stone.
I
Scarlett
thinking of?
Johansson in
That's
Ghost in
exactly
the
who I'm
Shell.
thinking of. Yep. Mhm.
Guys, ask me what white actresses have played Asian. I can do this all day.
Hey guys, ask me what thing I'm thinking of.
So we get into episode 6. It's a legacy business, so that's fun. They have the party.
Yeah.
People
City
cry.
of San Francisco.
I think it's actually nice. I think that's okay.
My impression is that this is actually a fake ceremony, though, because they say in the announcement that you get it if you've lasted as a business 30 years in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But then in the speech is like, so we've been here 35 years. I think they got this certificate 5 years ago, and now
Okay.
the producers are like, can you just do the ceremony
Can we
again?
just pretend?
But
Yeah.
my assumption is that legacy business comes with money. I think what I would
probably
assume is
some
you get something
preservation.
like that. So maybe,
But I don't think this
there
is
might
the
be-
actual
Maybe it
cer-
took 5 years of application because 3 years ago was high pandemic.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? So it may have just been offset. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Um,
I like to believe that they did it fake for the show.
I mean, I think, but
that is the kind of
Kathy's not a
stuff
good
you
enough
do.
actor.
She
Nah.
just met Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, you're right.
He was there to give her notes.
Yeah, and
He
broke her
inspired
down.
a
And,
performance.
That's
her back
why
up.
he's in the show.
yeah, I think that, and then so in episode 6, you also meet Chef Krista. You guys met her in episode 6.
Yeah.
I met her in episode 3.
You're a big Krista fan.
I'm a big. I kinda. She came. No.
Okay.
I think so. It's the same thing when they talk about how Chef Kathy is the most sought after chef in the country after winning Chopped twice, and it's like, well, absolutely not. Like, there's no
Two
fucking
Chopped
way.
wins.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is a pay bump.
Yeah, for sure. I think that
She pays herself.
Oh,
no,
that's-
but winning Chopped is a pay bump in the like.
I guess for a private event.
It could be, but it has to do, like there's only a certain level that you're going to achieve. It's the people who are quiet about stuff is the people who are really the really sought after ones. You know what I mean?
You mean the people too busy to be on Chopped Champions?
Yeah, I think maybe
No
to
one
that or
with
like
3 Michelin stars has ever gone on Chopped.
yes,
That's
exactly.
not true.
That's absolutely
Oh
true.
no
Okay.
head chef.
Oh, yeah.
has been. There have been Michelin star chefs on.
Yeah, you're right. So there's no Michelin starred chef
Head
cuisines.
chef. Yes.
But yes, there can be in between. I know a couple. I actually know a Chop Champion. And I know a few, and you know
I
what I
had
mean.
one on my
Like,
Chopped podcast.
Yeah. Oh, really?
yeah,
You had a Chop podcast.
I did.
That's very interesting. Okay.
For like 3 years,
Oh.
3 years.
Oh,
yeah,
shit. Okay.
Yeah, we watched a lot of episodes of Chopped.
Okay, then you might know a couple of my friends, like
Name
or
'em.
not even friends, people I know. Anna, who I don't know her last name, and Marty, who I
Oh
don't
my
know
god,
his last
Anna
name.
and Marty.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Scorsese?
Anna. So you might remember somebody who forgot to put sugar in their dessert.
This was 5 years ago.
So
minimum.
probably yes. I would assume yes. And then Marty is cool. Like personalities win that show more often than not. If you have a good personality.
although not having necessarily the it does not matter if you have a medical issue. Some of those people get chopped.
Okay. Oh, really?
We got to get you on Chopped.
We gotta. No, I don't want to do any of
I
that.
want you on Chopped.
I don't want to do any of that stuff. This is as much as I want to do.
No,
like
what are you
as
doing,
far
child?
as the entertainment. No, Guy's grocery game. Absolutely, 1,000%. I will. Be
I like
there.
that this was a start with it. Yes, the guy's a bit problematic, but I'll do grocery games.
I'll do the shit out of grocery games just to get me close enough to assassinate him.
Finally. A real scoop on this pod.
But Chef Krista, back to that other point, has a little bit of a pedigree. She cooked with Puglisi. I always forget how to say his name. Puglisi.
Is he the sad clown?
No, yes, he's a very sad clown. When she was baking in Denmark for 3, I also looked through her LinkedIn. I did.
No
a
one has
lot
ever
of-
looked through
there's
LinkedIn
a lot
on this
of action
podcast
that I had to do
before.
because I just wanted to know. So
Because most of the people on the shows we have do not have LinkedIn's.
Yeah.
okay. Well, I don't. I just know that that's an easy way to.
Oh,
search,
not
but-
you. I meant the people who have shows. Like there was no Lancelot LinkedIn.
Well done.
So yeah,
Wait.
she's got some shit. Puglisi came up under Renee Raspetti, who is the #1 in the world for fucking ever.
But what has Wolfgang Puck said about her?
I mean, I'm sure he loves it.
Okay.
I watch interviews with Wolfgang Puck all the time. He seems lovely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And then so the whole thing is basically they're like, hey, I gotta win back my father doesn't love me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
Yeah, we didn't really learn why.
You missed the tease on the first episode when he was like, you're not fit to have my legacy, right?
From I
Yeah,
guess
but
it
then we got
happened
it
in
on
episode
the end. We
5.
got it
Okay.
on the end.
Kind
of
of. Yeah,
6.
that was in episode 5 where they finally come to the answer, and it's just she wants to close the restaurant for a day.
for like renovations or something.
Quite
right?
no, to go and do that event at in
Yeah, okay.
Napa.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it literally is like we need to bring all the staff over there because that's a thing, and it's like yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, sure. I mean, Nanking has probably been open nonstop. I also love when she's like, I even had to convince him to take Christmas off, and it's like that's the only time that Chinese restaurants should be open.
Yeah, it's a big day.
For the Jews, please. Like that's how I grew up. You get Chinese food and you go fucking see a movie on Christmas Day.
Yeah, everybody's like, we'll just celebrate it tomorrow. It's fine.
It was hard dating an Irish Catholic woman who was very big on Christmas because it was like, I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I've seen very few Christmas movies. I don't really know how traditions work. Here's what I did. I would eat Chinese food and I would go see a movie. That was how we would celebrate Christmas. So
We should start a podcast where you review Christmas movies that you've never seen before.
I saw the Gary Oldman, fucking Charles Dickens.
So you play Scrooge?
He played. Who did he play? Yes. Did he play Scrooge? Yes. That
Who else was he gonna play?
That movie's book ended by people peeing on graves.
Perfect.
Christmas.
All right. Speaking of pissing on graves, Crow, how would you improve this movie
Oh, yes.
or this show?
Show? Oh, geez. More on Peter. He's the actual interesting person rather than the food nepo baby.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if it's more a show about a guy trying to keep a business that is more traditional open while weird people are, trying new innovative things and it's a bit of a struggle for him, that's more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And do you want to recommend a show?
Yeah, diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah, I think.
Or guys' grocery games. Or chops.
You want the
Just
cascading
quietly.
pours.
All right. Brian, how would you improve the show?
I
what
would-
do you want to recommend?
I would say improvement of the show is actually making it about food and maybe like talking to one of their cooks, maybe,
Yeah.
and not having them be a Miss Universe pageant winner. I think would be all right.
Actually, I'm changing what I would do back. More modeling shots of the staff.
More
please.
modeling shots, yeah. Mr. Mactor himself, who they also cut. It's so weirdly misogynistic, but they cut to him a few times within the season. And he's like, "That girl is hot," is basically like what he's there to do. Also, his face doesn't move, only his mouth, which I
Yeah.
found
Botox.
incredibly odd. Yeah, he's a Mactor. You want to see a show that's fun about cooking? That's not like necessarily a cooking show. I would say Shokugeki no Soma. It's an anime. Food Wars.
Okay. Oh, Food Wars. Yeah, I've seen Food Wars.
Only watch it up till the French stage and then quit watching it. And then I think you're totally fine there. I think that's a fun way of that's technically a cooking reality show.
There you go.
And and then read a fucking book, I guess.
Wow.
Maybe don't be a scab right now and watch shit. Maybe read a fucking book.
And first of all, they've not called on anyone to stop watching TV as a protest. Have they? A SAG?
Not SAG in general, but people in general. But also,
Well, yeah, don't listen to people.
it's time. And then I would read Michael Pollan, Cooked, or I would read Samin Nosrat, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat.
That's fun. Or
Yeah.
you can watch the show Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat.
Which is also fun. And also Michael Pollan, the show Cooked, is also great.
Don't
So-
watch the show Cook.
Which of the three of
Just
us?
because I got to make a stand somewhere.
Okay.
Of the three of us, which is salt, which is fat, which is acid, and which is heat?
I'm fat and acid.
Okay.
You're heat because
All
it's
right.
raw over
All
here.
right.
Look
I'm
at you.
clearly salt.
You're clearly salt.
Great.
I think Daniel's happy that he's not fat somehow.
That's what I was setting you up for.
Yeah, no, I know.
We didn't need to tee up.
All right,
'cause-
all right.
Come on, you're too hot.
Thank you.
You bring too much heat to the
I
table.
could have been hot and fat.
I
Sure.
mean, yeah, you can be
It's the
fat
same.
and hot. You are pretty warm most of the time when
Yep.
we're recording
I mean,
these.
fat carries flavor, baby.
There. Thank you.
This whole podcast is the heat.
I mean, I loved it. It was very enjoyable.
What I would do to improve it?
Mm-hmm.
Turn into a murder mystery.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
really, if you're gonna raise
Who
the
killed San
stakes-
Francisco real estate?
If you're gonna make it a murder mystery, make it a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Or like if you're gonna raise the stakes this high, let's kill the dad.
Okay.
Catherine Fang
Yeah.
is now a detective.
Well, they
solving food-based crimes.
tell her that it wasn't a murder. They said it was just, it was whatever.
Seppuku.
It was natural causes, but she knows. She knows Peter has a ton of enemies. Especially from CCP,
She knows her first. She's the first person she has to go fight. Francis Ford Coppola.
Wait. I know this is probably where we do in the episode, but I forgot one very important thing we forgot to mention,
Yeah.
which is how she met her husband.
Oh yeah, he showed up and he was like, "This is garbage," and she's like, "I love you."
Yes, that's what happened. That's their love story.
Yeah, he complained about the food, and she's like, "Fuck this guy," and then she was like, "I guess I'll fuck this
I
guy."
guess I gotta fuck this guy.
To be fair, that's what her father keeps saying.
Yes,
food's garbage.
She married
Yeah.
her dad.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know because I don't.
She married a guy that hates her food.
And if you want to, I mean, this is a real tee up, but it's The Bear. Watch The
Yeah.
Bear. The Bear's
Yeah, I guess I've. Truth be told, I've only watched like 3 episodes of The Bear, and I wanted to go in and do more of it, but now this whole thing had happened, and I'm just like,
great.
I
He
don't
was so
know if I feel
traumatized
okay.
by it.
I will say within the episode I saw, it has a bit of dramatization, of course, but I think it's encapsulating in a 10-episode run of what happens throughout the year, so you focus it in.
We're
which
talking
is,
about House of Fang, right?
either.
That was the restaurant.
It's stressful. It's mean sometimes, but it's not like that level until you get to a certain point. I think that level of chef, especially when they do what's his face from Community.
Joel McHale.
Yeah, when he's doing that, it's like you should kill yourself. Yes, 10 years ago for sure. Right now, I don't necessarily know if that's true. But also, Rene Redzepi used to fucking kick people and hit people, and he was a pusher. Pugasi is a fucking pusher.
We also don't know what's said in the kitchen at House of Fang.
Yeah, you don't. Well, yeah,
She could be
absolutely
pretty
don't.
mean. Who
Well, she
knows?
can be. Yeah, she comes in with like huge tone, and you just never see these women. I don't know. I'd like to meet them. I think that's the improvement for me.
We can't talk to the chefs because it's North Korea in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean she's very specific, very stressed out. Like a lot of things going on there. But I would love to meet them, and the mom too. I think, but I feel like she deserves her.
Privacy.
She's gone through enough.
Yeah.
She doesn't need fucking anything else. You know,
Anyway, if you take anything away from this, Kathy, we're big fans.
I'm a huge
bottle episode.
Looks like it's time for us to pack it up, pack it in. This is a callback to when I did jump around at the start.